What's good, people? Spud here, and welcome to episode 26 of Spud Ball. In this episode, we're going to be doing our 2024-25 Premier League Team of the Season and End of Season awards. I'm literally recording it and uploading it straight away. All I'm going to say, Sunderland just won the playoff final. Class. Welcome back to the Premier League. And Liverpool are signing Florian Wirtz for a club record deal. Like, what the fuck has happened in the last 48 hours? We're going to do a Spud Ball next week talking about the Florian Wirtz stuff. That'll be out on Friday. Um, this one, though, we're just going to do now. If you enjoyed, please like the video, subscribe if you're new. These are just my opinions, and obviously, um, I've gone a little biased with Liverpool because they dominated the league. So, what do you expect? But let me know what you guys have down below. So we'll start with Player of the Season. So I've gone McAllister in fifth, which to be honest, I could have went for anyone. I didn't really know who to go for there. The top four though were pretty set in stone. Gravenberch had a brilliant season. He's just won Young Player of the Season. Obviously, Salah won Player of the Season, rightly so. Isak in third. I think Isak's had a brilliant season, but wasn't as influential and as strong as Van Dijk and Salah. Van Dijk and Salah, wow. I Every time I see these two guys play, I am lost for words. Like they are so good, and obviously I got to see them myself recently as well in the Champions League. The talent, they are such high talents. It's amazing. Obviously I know they're getting older, but still getting great use out of them, of course. Gravenberch, him and McAllister was a big part of why Liverpool won the league. Van Dijk was a huge part of winning the league. Salah was the main reason Liverpool won the league. Young player of the season, so this was tough. The top three, no, it wasn't tough actually. Murillo in fifth. I think Murillo's brilliant, by the way. Um, I didn't actually realise that he was still pretty young as well. I think Palmer in fourth is fair because he was kind of poor from like January to April. So I'm pretty happy to put Palmer in fourth, but he still had a good season. Kirkish in third, obviously he's linked with Liverpool as well as Wirtz and Frimpong, but that's still a lot further away than those two. Uh, but he's been really influential for Bournemouth. I know a lot of people probably would have had Dean Huijsen in the top five, but I just think that Murillo had a better season. Rodgers in second. He's still a little inconsistent, but when Rodgers is playing, he's playing. Let me tell you, he's an absolute menace. But it was pretty straightforward to put Gravenberch at number one, to be honest. Obviously, I know he's not eligible for the PFA Player of the Young Player of the Year because he was like 2 months too old for that, and he's obviously just turned 23. But he's been 22 all season, bar now, and yeah, unbelievable campaign from Grav. What a midfielder he is. Manager of the season, so I've gone for Pereira from Wolves at fifth because of the job he's done since Gary O'Neill was sacked. Eddie Howe in fourth, brilliant season, obviously going to get back into the Champions League. Emery in third because, yeah, again, Aston Villa with a massive injury crisis, Aston Villa as well, where they've had to play midfielders at centre back and stuff like that. If they beat Man United, we'll get into the Champions League next season. Nuno in second. Obviously, nobody saw Forest potentially being in the Champions League. Obviously, I think they're guaranteed Europe, but we'll have to see what it is. But it's not in their hands to get Champions League. And then, of course, Arne Slot in first. That was pretty straightforward, though. Best manager in the league this season. Done an amazing job and obviously won Liverpool the Premier League and hopefully can go for it again next season. Most improved player, so I've gone for Kluivert in fifth from Bournemouth. I think he's had a really good season compared to last, where he wasn't as effective. Elliot Anderson in fourth from Nottingham Forest. He's been so good. Like I know obviously Newcastle sold him for PSR purposes, but they probably didn't see Elliot Anderson being this good. Matt Sells I've gone for in third because obviously he's one of the main reasons Nottingham Forest are where they are this season because he's made some absolute crucial saves. I think he's got 4.5 goals prevented as well, which is really impressive to be fair. Damsgaard in second, obviously him, Visashada, and Buemo is a very strong front four. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with Damsgaard being there. I think he's had a brilliant season. But of course, Gravenberch is first, and wasn't wasn't difficult for me to be honest because he is literally the cog this season. Him and McAllister have been the cog in the team, and Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. I'm pretty satisfied with Gravenberch being there. I think it was expected I'd put him there. I love him. You know, I literally got Gravenberch after 3 games this season because I knew that he was going to be good, but I didn't think he'd be this good. But he's been the best midfielder in the Premier League this season, in my opinion. Signing of the season, so I've gone for Wan-Bissaka in fifth, which I think might be a bit harsh. I think he could have been fourth ahead of Strand Larsen, but like Delap didn't even make the list. Wan-Bissaka in fifth, brilliant season from him on an individual notice, and he actually looks good on the attack as well. Strand Larsen in fourth, they found someone that could score the goals. Obviously, Hwang dropped off. Neto didn't really score many goals, but got sold. And obviously, Cunha's got a decent amount of goals, but he's got to Man United. Strand Larsen's had a good campaign. Huijsen in third, he's been brilliant for Bournemouth since he came into the team after Senesi got injured. And obviously, he's got that move to Real Madrid, so good luck to him. I've gone for Elliot Anderson in second place because I think he's been so good, but never really gets talked about. Like, he's not even mentioned about getting into the England squad. Crazy. But I've gone for Milenkovic in first because, you know, that Selds, Mourinho, Milenkovic trio is the main reason that Nottingham Forest are potentially going to get into the Champions League because they have saved and blocked a lot of shots which have gained them a lot of points. Their last ditch defending is very, very good. Like they took 4 points from the champions, you know what I mean? They beat Man City, they drew to Arsenal. Yeah, they had a brilliant season. Except when they lost 5-0 to Bournemouth. Goal and save of the season, it was between Matoma versus Chelsea or Marmoush versus Bournemouth, but I've gone for Matoma just because the touch was just amazing. Obviously Duran as well. Duran against Everton is up there. It'll be one of those three, I think, that'll win it. Save of the season, I couldn't think of any memorable ones. I thought about maybe like Alex Palmer against uh, Aston Villa, but I've gone for David Raya's double save early on in the season against Aston Villa. It was a brilliant double save. Now it's time for the best best ranks now. So goalkeepers, centre backs, left backs, whatever. It's either top 5 or top 7, and then it'll show you my team at the end. Goalkeeper, I've gone Kepper in fifth because I didn't know who to go for in fifth, but he's had a decent season. Pickford, yeah, another solid season from Everton's keeper. David Raya in third. He's had some brilliant games, but he's also had a few meh moments. Even though Alisson is the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, Sells had a better season, so I had to go for Sells. Even though I'd love to put Alisson in there, and people can put Alisson in there because he is the best keeper. But did he have the best season? Well, he obviously missed a few games because he got injured. Um, then he obviously had a concussion as well. But it's not like he's been playing bad in the Premier League when he played, but he just hasn't played as many games as Sells, so I've gone for Sells for that reason. Right back, I mean, Olarinho at one point was number one for me, but Timber in fifth, I think is fair. Olarinho in fourth, Trent in third, Wan-Bissaka second, and Munoz in first. And I'm pretty happy with this list. Obviously, Munoz. I think I've read that Palace have 11 clean sheets in the Premier League this season, and obviously he's got quite a few goal contributions because he bombs up that right hand side. He's very impressive, Daniel Munoz. I wasn't really expecting this from him, um, but yeah, very very impressive. Right wing back is Daniel Munoz. Centre backs, I've gone for top seven. Obviously, the top two will get into my team of the season. Huijsen in seventh, brilliant campaign from him. Obviously, that's the reason why Real Madrid just spent £50 million on him. I've gone for Saliba in sixth because look, Saliba had a good campaign, but Gabriel was way better, and he was better than him last season as well. And I think Saliba's had quite a few how do we pronounce it? Like bozo moments this season. And again, Kanate has as well, but I think Kanate has definitely had a better season than Saliba. Hence why they're fifth and sixth. And then it's obviously the Nottingham Forest centre backs, third and fourth. I've gone for Milenkovic ahead of Murillo, but you could just flip a coin. Both of them have been very, very impressive. Um, Gabriel in second, which is fair in my opinion. I don't like the guy, but he's a very good centre back, and I think Arsenal are a better team when he's there. Um, but I have gone for Virgil van Dijk at number one. For me, this is pretty straightforward. I think, obviously, being the captain of the club that just won the league, but obviously having a massive part in that. He leads the line, he leads the midfield. You know, commands what happens. He's the voice of the team ultimately. That's how to put it. He's the voice of the team, and he's a very good centre back as well. And yeah, pretty straightforward for me in that one. Left back was pretty tough because I've had to take out Nico Williams. Like Nico Williams deserves a mention, by the way. But I've gone for Aitnuri, Gvardiol, Cucurella, Robinson, and Kirkesh. I mean, for me, it was pretty easy to put Kirkesh at number one. I'm shocked that he wasn't in the Young Player of the Season award, the Premier League one. But yeah, Kirkesh number one. Robinson, obviously 10 assists, I think, at left back this season for Fulham's left back. That's really good. Cucurella is quite underrated, I think. I do think Cucurella is quite underrated. Gvardiol obviously has played some games at centre back, and Man City just haven't really been that good. So I think fourth's fair. Aitnuri's to be fair, if Aitnuri was playing under Vitor Pereira all season long, he'd probably be in the top two. But I think fifth's fine for Aitnuri. So midfield. Now this was tough. All right, I've put Gibbs White in seventh. I was pretty happy with that, but I didn't know who else to go for really in seventh. Sandro Tonali in sixth. I think Sandro Tonali's been really good this season, and obviously his availability has probably also helped Newcastle be a better team because obviously he's obviously got banned for an entire season because of the gambling stuff. But yeah, Tonali looks good, and obviously they're going to get Champions League football most likely now, and he's going to be a big part of that. Yuri Tielemans in fifth. He's been amazing this season for Aston Villa, hasn't he? Superb player. Everyone thought, oh, he's slow or he doesn't run much. He's not very good. Yeah, that's BS. Now, I've seen people having Declan Rice in their team of the seasons, but I just don't have that thought. I can't do that, I'm afraid. I can't do it. Because they're like, oh, he scored two good free kicks against Real Madrid. Yeah, that was against Real Madrid. They're not are they a Premier League team? No, I didn't think so. Declan Rice gets fourth. These three were the best three. You could argue Caicedo or McAllister who was better. For me, Gravenberch was standout number one. These are the best three midfielders. All three of these will make my team of the season, by the way. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that ranking. I think Caicedo has been better than Rice this season in the Premier League, but obviously Rice is probably a better player than Caicedo. But we're talking about who is the best player in the Premier League this season, and Caicedo is definitely ahead of Declan Rice. Now we're going to do our wingers. Now I know that Eberechi Eze and Mateus Cunha aren't like wingers that play on the sideline. They're more like inverted tens, whatever you want to call it. But I've gone for Eze in seventh. I think especially the second half of the season he's been really good. I've gone for Jacob Murphy in sixth. He's actually impressed me. Yeah, he might not be a flash footballer, you know, he might not be like a game changer, but he's had a decent season. But Newcastle still need a better right winger if they want to stay in the Champions League and push Liverpool or whoever the hunters are the hunted are next season. Now I know Luis Diaz has played a lot of games as the number nine, but he's not really a number nine, is he? I've put Luis Diaz in fifth. I think it was his best season yet at Liverpool, but I do think he's going to be sold in the summer potentially. Obviously, I don't know who if Florian Wirtz is going to potentially take that false nine role. We just have to see what Liverpool do. Jared Bowen in fourth. Again, really good season from Jared Bowen, but West Ham was shit, so you can't. You have to give him some credit. Um, to be honest. Now, obviously, I know some people are going to talk about Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, I've not put Bruno Fernandes in my top seven, and that might be is the midfielders. And now that might be seen as really controversial. I kind of forgot to mention that. If we just go back, I just don't think Bruno Fernandes has had the same impact on his team as anyone of the others. Man United have been terrible in the Premier League. Yeah, he's had a few good moments, but has he been better than Gibbs White this season? No. Has he been better than Tonali this season? No. He hasn't been better than anyone on this list. Yeah, he'd be in the top 10, but not in the top 7. And now I've put Cunha in third because for a long time Cunha was in my team of the season, but obviously he has had a couple of red cards, and a few attitude problems. And obviously he's going to go to Man United where the egos are already too big for a team that could finish 17th and with no European football next year. But yeah, Cunha in third. And Mbeumo in second, really good season from Mbeumo. I think he'll get a move. Look, I think Newcastle should be all over him, but that doesn't necessarily mean they'll go there. Obviously, more number one, most goal contributions in a 38 game Premier League season. Premier League Player of the Year, soon to be PFA Premier League Player of the Year. Also, Football Right Association Player of the Year, multiple awards, multiple records, too easy. And to finish off, we have our striker. So I've gone for Ollie Watkins in fifth. Now, he's actually statistically done okay this season, but I don't think he was as good as last season. I've put Haaland in fourth because obviously he missed a few games because of injury, but he just hasn't had the same impact. But he's still got over 20 goals, which is brilliant, don't get me wrong. Chris Wood in third. Now, this is controversial, but I've got Wissa having a better season than Chris Wood. I think Wissa's been amazing. So I've gone for Wissa in second and Wood in third. For me, I just think that there's something about how Vissa plays the game with Mbeumo that just works perfectly. Plus, Vissa isn't on penalties. Isak, Wood, Haaland, and Haaland are all on penalties, but Vissa isn't. So, yeah, honestly, Vissa is such a talent. Now, I know he's 28, so he's not like a young talent, but he's still a good player. He's still got another, I would say, 3 years at the top level, probably. I don't think he'll move, though. I think he'll stay at Brentford. So anyway, this is my team of the season after all that. So obviously I've put the wingers together because I really wanted Brian and Mbeumo in my team of the season, but obviously Moore was taking right wing. So the manager of the season is obviously Slot. Sells, Munoz, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Kirkej, McAllister, Caicedo, Gravenberch, and Mbeumo, Isak, and Salah. So that is the end of this video. I'm literally going to upload it straight away as soon as I click stop recording. That is my Premier League awards, my team of the season, etc. Now, let me know down below who you think, who's in your team of the season. Is there any players that I've missed out? Was my Bruno Fernandes rating unfair? But thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like the video for more Spud Ball. Obviously, we're going to do a video next week as well where we talk about Florian Wirtz to Liverpool and what can we expect from him. A bit like how we did with the Szoboszlai video a couple of years ago. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great evening, and I'll also be live on Twitch in about an hour. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.